Hi, and welcome to another show of Successful Living. I'm your host, Paul DeBellis. You know, the economy, it's in the tank right now. It's no secret. We're all getting all stressed out. People are losing their jobs left and right. But I'm here to tell you there is a solution to the problem, and there are ways to cope with stress. And today, I have the pleasure of having a great guest on our show, Dr. DrBartemus. He's a chiropractor. And Dr. John, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
Now, as I said, people are really getting stressed out today. And what suggestions can you give the viewing audience to help cope with some of these stressful situations?
My number one answer to decreasing stress would be accountability, Paul. And that's something that's lacking today across the board in our country. But specifically accountability in your daily lifestyle choices in terms of health, in your diet, in your form of exercise, and in your mental attitudes. And when you take responsibility for your own life and your own health, then you can avoid the chronic diseases that are pandemic in our society today and save a boatload of money on healthcare expenses at the same time.
Now, what specifically can we look at? I mean, is it diet that we need to change, or?
Diet, for sure, all three of those. Dietary changes we need to make is we should really focus on a few food groups and leave a couple food groups out. So the food groups we should focus on in our diet would be fruits and vegetables, nuts and seeds, and your grass-fed meats. And then we should avoid or minimize dairy and grain as much as possible.
Can you get into more specifics so we can know exactly what you're talking about? I mean, we all know what fruits and vegetables are,
Sure.
But specifically, can you talk about what fruits are beneficial, which ones maybe we should stay away from that really aren't too beneficial? You know,
Sure.
Same with the vegetables. Can you really dig in deep? Because I think our viewing audience really wants to know what to eat and what not to eat.
Sure, yeah. As far as fruits and vegetables go, there really isn't a fruit or vegetable that's bad for you. As long as they are from nature, the whole food variety, as close to raw as possible, they're going to be good for you. The more you go into pesticides and herbicides and taking the plants away from their natural growth, the more dangerous they become. But if you're choosing between a fruit and a vegetable or a pasta dish, the fruit and the vegetable should win every time, whether it's conventionally grown, organically grown, what have you.
Okay. Can you name off some of those?
Sure. As far as vegetables go, you want to focus on your dark-colored vegetables and your dark-colored fruits. But vegetables, you want your green leafy vegetables such as broccoli, kale, spinach, collard greens, mustard greens. All of those plants are high in phytonutrient value and bioflavonoid value, and they have anti-cancer properties. So as much of those as you can eat as possible, the better.
Now, what form should you eat them in? I mean, I've heard, pros and cons. People say you should eat it in the raw form. Once you go ahead and cook them, they lose their nutrients. Can you really, dig into that a little bit deeper for us?
Yeah, and there's some wisdom in that statement. The closer you can get to nature, the better. So, for example, broccoli. If you're eating broccoli, broccoli's most nutrient-rich format is in its raw format. So if you're eating raw broccoli versus steamed broccoli, the raw broccoli has more nutrients. Anytime you heat a food, whether it's a fruit, vegetable, meat, what have you, the heating process actually kills some of the nutrients. So yeah, if you can pick it out of the ground and eat it like that, that's the healthiest version of it.
And it's not hard to digest eating it raw?
No, nope. Actually, part of the broccoli you're not going to digest. It's insoluble fiber, meaning your body can't digest it, but that's healthy for you because that travels through your GI tract and kind of acts as a toilet brush, for lack of a better term, and it goes through your GI tract and just pulls the junk out there with it. So kind of detoxifying you. And that's why fiber is good for you, because fiber goes through and pulls out the junk with it and detoxifies your intestine.
So green leafy vegetables are high in fiber?
Yep. green leafy vegetables, your cruciferous vegetables like broccoli, cauliflower. And while we're talking about fiber, I'd like to say there are good fibers and bad fibers. So you can see on a package of spaghetti, it'll say 5 grams of fiber per serving, and that's not really the fiber you're looking for. The fiber you're looking for is a plant-based fiber, because your body can't break that down for the most part, and so that'll go through and scrub your pipes clean. Versus the fiber in the pastas isn't the same substance. Your body can break that down some, and it's not serving the same purpose.
So it's not cleaning your intestinal walls.
Yeah, not as well. That's a more soluble fiber that your body can break down, and you know.
Specifically spinach. Because I'm kind of fat, I like spinach.
Sure.
But I've always heard it's really hard to digest. Is that a fallacy?
No. Spinach, you know, any plant that you eat, plants in their cells have a cell wall that our bodies don't digest. So you'll notice if you eat a lot of green leafy vegetables, you may pass a good amount of those, and that's good because that's cleaning your pipes. But also from spinach, it's a great source of iron. It's a great source of calcium. It's a great source of other vitamins and minerals that you won't get if you're not eating it, and you're not getting the value of those natural vitamins and minerals out of the synthetic vitamins and minerals that are added to prepared foods or restaurant foods.
Now, as a kid, I was always told that if you ate carrots, you'd always have good eyesight. Now, I wear contacts or glasses certain days, but they always said, you never see a rabbit with glasses, do you? So, I mean, I always believed that as a kid growing up.
Yeah.
But that's truly a myth, isn't it?
Well, there's some, it's mostly myth, but I can see the reasoning because beta-carotene is good for the eyes, and carrots are a great source of beta-carotene. So, it's more myth than truth, but I can see where their reasoning came from there.
How many servings of vegetables should we eat on a daily basis?
As many as possible. There's really not too much that you can eat vegetable-wise. Nobody ever, became fat by eating too many vegetables. You don't see any obese rabbits either. In nature, anyways. If you look in people's homes or their pets, you might. But there's no limit to the vegetables that you can eat.
So you can't gain weight from eating a lot of vegetables? There's not a whole lot of calories in it?
I'd like to see you try.
Okay.
No, that's not something you should worry about. The vegetables will clean you out. So a lot of the time, the weight that you gain if you're eating a lot of grains, grains are pro-inflammatory food, and grains will go in your GI tract and kind of sit there, and that's added weight. So if you're eating a lot of grains and not a lot of vegetables and not cleaning those pipes out, you're going to add weight over time because it's just going to build up and build up.
Okay. You gave us a great insight to vegetables, and I always had a problem eating green leafy vegetables as a kid. So, but I have gotten better in the past few years because of health reasons personally. I've changed my diet. And it's made a tremendous change in the way I eat. And I really love the insight that you're giving to us. And I'd really like you to go into a little more about all the different food groups. Now, let's talk about the fruits, for example. I love bananas.
Okay.
I always heard they were high in potassium.
Yep.
What else are they beneficial?
Bananas, believe it or not, a green banana is good for ulcers.
Green bananas?
Yeah, so a lot of people don't want to eat the green bananas because they're a little harder,
right,
and they've got a bad stigma to them, but actually research has shown that a green banana, a less ripe banana, is good for ulcers. I can't tell you exactly why, but it's out there that they're good for ulcers. And then you mentioned the potassium. Potassium is something that we should definitely eat more of because our body is all about balance. So potassium in our body is balanced with sodium.